This is Richard Buford of Adrenaline Rush Sports and Fitness, and we're going to go over some old drills that still works today to improve your speed. But we're going to make a couple little modifications, and then you're going to be able to translate them better into your sprint performance. The drills that we're going to cover today are wall sprints, bounding, and also ankling. So those are the three old school sprint speed technique type drills that we're going to use to get your speed together today. All right, starting with the wall sprints, we're going to set up our hands on the wall right here, so we're just leaning. All right, you don't want to have your hips back, you want to have your hips locked in, and you're going to have to use your core in order to hold the position. So one thing I want to tell you about is your center of gravity. So if you put a line between your belly button going to your back and then one coming to your sides, where that intersects is where your center of gravity is going to be, basically. All right, so what we want to do is work off of that. So when you're accelerating, your footsteps want to be behind your center of gravity. When you're transitioning, you want your footstep to come from behind your center of gravity to up under your center of gravity. And then in max speed, you want every touch to come up under your center of gravity, okay? That's a basic understanding of how this should go, but we'll get deeper into detail later. So we're gonna put our hands on our wall or our pole, as you can see, and then what we're going to do is bring our hips down, make sure our shoulders are down and back, abs tight, and what we wanna do is just mark where our center of gravity is. So as you can see, my center of gravity comes straight down. So this is my center of gravity right here. So what I want to do is make sure my foot contact is behind that center of gravity. So I'm gonna just put another cone right there just to make sure it's behind the center of gravity. All right. So I'm right here. As you can see, it's behind my center of gravity. So I don't want my feet to come up here because this is max speed and this is acceleration. So I can scoot this one back a little bit more. Right there. So you want your foot to contact to be right there, and when you come up, you want to bring your ankle into dorsiflexion and have your knee come up as high as it can. Okay, the reason being is that the higher your knee can get, the more power you can use to strike down onto the ground. All right, so the motion, if I did it in slow motion, your knee will come up and then your foot will come back down to the ground behind your center of gravity, okay? So the start is your acceleration is only going to be like 3 steps, but we're going to do more than 3 steps in our demonstration. So just follow along and then try it yourself, all right? So what we're going to do is have our foot up right here, and then we're just going to switch right there. And you want to definitely feel like you're pushing the wall or the pole or whatever you have your hands on. You want to feel like you're pushing that object forward, okay? And you're behind your center of gravity, all right? Start slow and then go fast. So I just did it slow, and then faster will be right here. And remember, we don't want our heel to come out and kick, all right? We want our heel to stay up under our knee right here. And you have to feel like you're pushing into the object, all right? That's a major thing. Now, what we want to focus on is the transition. So the transition is from this cone right here to that cone up under my center of gravity. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a 10-step transition, all right? So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that transition is going to happen slow, and you have to be patient. And that's the reason why some people lose their races, is because they're not patient. They just want to stand up really quick and get to max speed. All right, so being patient, we're going to take 10 steps. We'll do a slow first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, if you saw, I started at an angle and then came up gradually, all right, with my upper body. That's the same transition you're gonna make when you're sprinting. That's gonna, all that acceleration work that you did is really tough. And what you wanna do is maximize that transition into the max speed position. All right, so we're gonna do a little faster. So we're gonna go right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's how it's gonna look, all right? You're gonna have to drill these and break them down one by one, but make sure you got each one correct, all right? All right, and then the max speed is right here. So when you're on the wall, you can see that cone is still by my, well, actually I can scoot it up a little bit. Right there. And again, you wanna have your knee up, knee down, knee up, knee down, all right? So the last one is gonna be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And of course you can go longer because you're gonna have to take that max speed onto the finish line, all right? So that is the wall sprint and how you can make that new and make it work for you. All right, our next exercise is going to be the bounds. And when you're using the bounds, it's basically like you're coming out of the start, all right? And when you take every step, your foot should accelerate towards the ground. Your foot shouldn't just lay on the ground, but you're gonna push it to the ground. And then also, we're gonna need that ankle stiffness, and we'll cover that in the ankling video that we'll have up coming next, all right? So what we're gonna do with the bounds is we're gonna get a good distance back so I can stay in frame, all right? So with the bounds, you're gonna just basically think of a long skip, all right? So you can come right here, boom, boom. You wanna use your arms, you wanna use the strike from the ground, bringing your knee up as high as you can, but also one little caveat is that you don't want to extend your leg, overextend your leg, okay? So you wanna have a little bit of bend in it as you pushing off. That's gonna let your front knee get up a little bit higher, all right? And again, if we have our knee higher, we have more room to strike down if you have that strength, okay? So what we're gonna do now is show you the bound. And you wanna make sure your breathing is right. You're gonna need good core strength also. So you're gonna be right here. So what I'm gonna do is just show you when my foot just lays on the ground, and then I'm gonna come back striking my foot on the ground. All right, so I just want you to see the difference, if you can see it. Now I'm gonna strike the ground. Okay, it's gonna project me forward a little bit more. And the more distance that you can cover in your stride without changing it too much is going to make sure that you get to that line first. Make sure you go like 20 yards or so doing the bounds, and then you can do drills like bounds for 10 yards and then sprint out of it, okay? So that's the way that you can use bounds in your drills. All right, here we're gonna do an ankling drill, and what it is just how it sounds, all right? But your foot is just gonna come right above your ankle and step down, and there's gonna be tiny little steps. Now I marked off 5 yards right here, so you don't need a lot of distance, but you need a lot of repetition in between, all right? So I'm gonna just show you the drill, and then we'll break it down, all right? So you'll start right here, and then right here, and that's it, okay? But the thing is that you wanna keep your heel off of the ground while you're doing the ankling, okay? So if you can see it from right there, I'll show you another video, but right here, you just wanna be real quick and keep that heel off of the ground. You have to build ankle stiffness because your body needs something to push off of. And if your ankle comes down every time, it's like pressing a brake on a car. All right, can't press the brake and gas at the same time and expect to move smoothly forward. Same thing in running, all right? So just make sure that you keep that heel up. Now let me show you a little bit closer. It's gonna take a lot of core strength to get those repetitions in properly, keeping your heel off the ground and moving really fast. All right, so you don't want to move forward really quick, but you want to get a lot of repetitions in. I tell my athletes 100 repetitions in 5 yards. All right, so that's the mindset that you need to have when you're going towards this drill. Keep your ankle off of the ground. Also remember that sprint training is boring. And what I mean by that is that you have to work on all these little small things every day. And your practice may be simply drills and sprinting, drills and then implementing, drills and implementing every day. So just make sure that you do it every day, because the thing is that when you get stronger, something else is going to be thrown off. You don't know what it is week to week. So that's why drills, consistent drills, are good for you, because it's going to reinforce what you should be doing along with the teaching that your coach is teaching you. All right, so just make sure that you do them consistently. It's going to be boring. Yes, it's going to be redundant. You're going to be thinking that you need something new, but you really don't. All right, there's not a lot of equipment that real sprint coaches use besides boxes, wickets, just like little stuff like that. But nothing gets you faster than running fast. All right, so the competitions are going to be able to get you faster. The drills are going to be able to get you consistent. Be sure to follow Adrenaline Rush Sports and Fitness on all social media platforms, but mainly Instagram at ARush Sports, ARushSport, and don't forget the S. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know, DM me, post a comment, anything, just get at me. All right, let's get it.